Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varishtaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Yathagnirdahika shaktihi Ramakrishne stita hiya Sarva vidya swarupam tam Sharadam pranamamyaham. Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamini Tapaharini. Namaste to you all. In the last class we saw the great chariot coming with Krishna and Arjuna seated on that and blowing the conch. Thereafter we see what was the atmosphere created also we saw. When the whole thing was silent after the Bhishma's blowing and all tumultuous sound rising, when it subsided, Krishna and Arjuna were playing together. All the description we saw. We will take up the next 4 shlokas today, and where the others join the great festival of Sri Krishna's. It is actually Krishna's coming down to the earth to preserve dharma, and all these are on the side of Krishna, and Krishna is on their side. So a kind of joy comes when he blows the conch. Next 4 shlokas will chant. Om Parthaya pratibodhitam bhagavata Narayanena swayam Vyasena gratitam purana munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshini. Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadattan Dhananjaya Paundram Dadmau Mahashankham Bhima Karmavrakodaraha Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha Nakula Sahadevascha Sughoshamani Pushpakau Kashascha Parameshwasaha Shikhandi cha Maharataha Drishtadyumno Viratascha Satyakischa Parajitaha Drupada Draupadeyascha Sarvasha Prithivipate Saubhadrascha Mahabahu Shankan Dadmu Pratak Pratak. We allow for Indians. It's very easy. Sanskrit language is not much difficult from the mother tongues we are using. Some amount of understanding we get by hearing all these things. Panchajanyam Rishikeshu Devadattam Dhananjaya. Rishikesha means refers to Krishna. Rishikesha blew Panchajanyam. We'll see the details of Panchajanyam later on. But Panchajanya is the name of the conch that Krishna was using, which we saw in the last class also, identical with the Vishnu's Shankha which is in his hand, which indicates the creative impulse raising up, Panchajanya. And Rishikesha, the term Rishikesha and Gudakesha is used for Krishna and Arjuna. Krishna uses the term Gudakesha to Arjuna. He calls him Gudakesha in one of the shlokas we will see later on. Gudakesha. Gudakesha is one. Gudaka is sleep. Who has conquered sleep is called Tamas. Who has conquered the Tamas. Tamas is excessive lethargy, sleeping, alasya, laziness, and all this on one side, on another side, excessive lust, greed, and all that, anger, wrath, which we say, all these are signs of the Rakshasi guna or tamasic. So, one who has conquered this tamas, that is, nothing is tamasic is affecting him, including he has conquered the sleep. He can remain sleepless for days and months. At the same time, he can sleep as he wants. So, conquest of sleep, Gudakesha. Rishikesha is used for Krishna. Panchajanyam Rishikeshu, Devadattam Dhananjaya. Rishika means senses. Rishika Isha, the Lord of the senses. All senses, Panchajnanendriya, out of the 24 cosmic principles that manifests in the Absolute at the time of creation, the Panchabhutas in the subtle form or first form, they are called Tanmatras. Tat-matra is still that. Just like I want to build a building and it is in my mind, whole thing how it is going to come. A sculptor wants to carve an image from the stone, the whole picture is in his mind. It has not manifested outside. It is already formed in my mind. It is not to be seen by anywhere externally. So it's still that in the Absolute, already the ideation has begun, that of creation. Then they are called Panchatanmatras. Behind the Panchatanmatras stand the Chit-Shakti, slowly taking up the three gunas, Sattva, Raja, Tama. Sattva is cognition, I am able to see and understand. And Rajas is movement, the whole universe is a constantly moving flux. Then Sattva, Raja, Tamas. Tamas is the material world. I am going to become this world where there is cognition, where there is movement, and where is matter. So with this ideation it begins. First from the five, Panchajnanendriya, Panchakarmendriya, Panchaprana, Buddhi, Manas, all this, which is within the every being, and objects, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, are outside in the world. They are come into existence. So here we see all the senses are collective universal object. Space, time is universal. We all adopt it. Humans take the day and night to sleep and wake up, time. Space they bound. This is my space, this is your space. Space is infinite, it cannot be divided. By no means you may build a wall, but space is passing in and through the wall. You can't stop or do anything. So, like that, senses are one unit, mind is one unit, universal mind. We have bound what mind is there up to my bodily existence, I call mine. My mind, your mind. But if I transcend this limitation of mind, if I remove the boundaries of my mind, I can enter any mind. I have put the boundary because of my limitation. I can't go beyond. So once the spiritual awakening happens, you will have the freedom to slowly overcome the binding that you have put on the mind. This mind is mine, but it is so Rishika, all senses in all beings, whether it is ant or this one, is finally controlled and ordered. It moves according to a definite law. Mind and senses work in a definite way. You can't change its functioning. So like that, this Rishikesh, all senses are, he is controlling, he is guiding. Individually. Just like our, in this computer science and all, you see, how each man is adopting, suppose Android. Every cell phone is independently working with that. The Android is working in and through millions of cell phones. Similarly, the one Lord, each is controlled. At its will, they are functioning. So Rishikesha is the Lord of senses. Always, when senses give problem, we surrender to this Rishikesha. You are the Lord of the senses. Ordain that to go in the righteous path. May my eyes see what is good. Bhadram karnebhi shrunuyama devaha, bhadram pashyema akshibhi yajatraha. Let my eyes see what is good. Let my ears hear what is good. Because selection is mine. Senses predict. And behind senses is the mind, behind mind is the intellect, behind intellect is my ego. So Rishikesha is upright to Krishna. Krishna is a projection of the infinite. Rupa, Swarupa is there behind. That's why we in every mantra, wherever we use Om in the beginning. Om Shri Krishnaya Namaha, Om Ramaya Namaha. Om is behind the Swarupa of all innumerable manifestations in the universe of God. So there is Swarupa. So this we are, his term is beautifully used. And Krishna, one is awakened. See, God coming to human level to raise him to the divine level is avatara. This is called Narayana. God coming in human form is taking human form is Narayana, and Nara, when the Nara Narayana, a man who has attained perfection, Nara. Arjuna represents Nara and Krishna represents Narayana. They are called Nara Narayana, which we see again in our present days with Sri Ramakrishna and Naren. Vinayakananda, Nara Narayana concept again presenting because of the avatara. They happen once in a way, yuga yuga, because of the emergency of the times. So here we see Panchajanya Rishikesha is blowing Panchajanya. There is a deep significance. Panchajanya is the Shankha which can produce 5 types of sounds. Usually we see when conch is blown, it is always in the Panchama. Sarigama Padanisa. Sarigama Padanisa. This pa, Shabda, of the men pitch. And same is in women pitch. At lower octave, it is the sa of women pitch. Pa sa are called always nitya swaras. They don't change. Ri, ga, da, ni have alternative, and ma has alternative. Ri, ga, da, ni are komal and shuddha, whereas ma has tivra. So they are altering, but pa and sa doesn't alter. That is represented by the Shankha Dhvani. Shankha Dhvani has special significance to this, the pitch of man and woman, the two wheels of a human existence. So this one, and then it could produce 5 types of nadas also. When we come to the Vishnu concept, we will see Vishnu Shankha represents, in last class also we discussed a little of the creative impulse. The creative impulse which is going to trigger the creation. Spandana, it begins with the pulsation, throbbing. That creates a inaudible sound, subtle, causal level, not even subtle, causal level. That is which equal to my deep sleep. I am waking from deep sleep. There is no time and space when I enter into deep sleep. There I am getting up. How the waking takes place with small vibrations. I am waking up, you see, to the waking state, gross state. The universe has to come from Ishvara to Virat. So that Spandana has one is Paranada, which is going to, we have discussed in other classes, Paranada. The Chaitanya, Chit Shakti are one, the whole universe has dissolved, matter and the energy are interconvertible, whole matter has become energy and again merged in the consciousness, Chaitanya Sagara, and then it is one without a second. Again there is Spandana after same amount of period it has spent in the universe. Again the Spandana is there. And this Spandana causes a wavy ripples, small ripples, which is love, which separates as love from the absolute and becomes wavy. In that the thought, I will become many, comes. The motherhood appears. I will become many now. This universe, she is going to manifest as universe. Because there cannot be duality in the absolute, she becomes Bindu. This flow is called up to Bindu, from the absolute separation as love, is called Paranada. From Bindu, again time and space appears and she expands herself. So this part is called Aparanada. 2 nadas, Paranada and Aparanada, makes the whole universe manifest. In Conch, we see this Paranada of the Vishnu, Paranada, Aparanada. And then when the whole universe sustains, this is the Nada is continuing. This is what we hear as Anahata Dhvani. This movement is of creation, creative impulse continues even after the whole creation has come into existence, because it has to sustain. Sustenance needs again. So after that, again it is retracting. This is Pralaya. Pralaya also happens from the up to Bindu, it goes back. Whole thing comes to Bindu. It is called Pralaya Nada. This is 3 nadas. Srishti Nada, that is in the beginning, that Paranada, Aparanada. Srishti is over and going back is Pralaya Nada. It also creates vibrations. And then there is absolute existence which is pervading everything. That is absolute existence, that is Omkara, Omkara Nada. And it is beyond time and space. And these all come within the time and space. After Paranada, that's Aparanada, Bindu onwards is with time and space, till it goes back. Again Aparanada, then again Omkaranada. When the whole universe is, nothing is there, Omkaranada. And then slowly, at all times, jivas are there. Universe may dissolve, but jivatva, the jiva's karmic load and everything is as it is in the Vishnu, in the Shayana sthiti. So this aspect of the is jiva tattva. So there is the Omkaranada, and constantly inside the jiva, Soham Nada is going on. I am you, I am you. So these are the Panchanadas, which is, and the Aparanada includes the Prakriti, Vidya Tattva. So Jiva Tattva, which has its own existential existence, Jiva Tattva, has a Nada, Absolute has a Nada, then Paranada up to Bindu, from Bindu to Aparanada, then Pralayanada. These are the 5 Nadas which will be in perfect harmony. Just like when we play Tanpura, Sapasa, when we play the total collective, if you keep the ear on the Tanpura, when you play, Ga will be coming. Sa, Pa, Sa. This again, Sapasa is going to create it's in perfect harmony. Most important part is harmony in the universe. This universal harmony that is going to be is collective. All the 5 nadas are coming together. That can be played independently also. It is coming collectively when the conch is blown. When Krishna blows the conch, many times he has used blowing conch to invoke devatas. When he goes to search the Sandipine's son, from where the Panchajanya he gets, Yama's kingdom he goes, standing outside he blows. Yama comes running. Similarly, when someone dies, he uses that to wake him up. He wants to kill someone, the sound itself he is able to kill. Pralayanada comes out of it. So all this, the Panchajanya is this aspect. And Panchajanya has another thing too. After the completion, Krishna and Balarama go together to Sandipini school. We call it school now. Then they goes to the Gurukula and learns. After finishing his education, Vidya Prapti, he has to go back. Then Balarama and Krishna asked Sandipini, his teacher, his guru, what should we give to you as the Guru Dakshina? He says, I have lost my son. And when we went to Prabhas, and for a pilgrimage, he got drowned in the ocean, one whale swallowed him and went away. And can you get that? I want that child to be back. So he immediately accepts with the consent with Balarama. They go together to Prabhas and search. They called Varuna Devata, the Lord of the ocean. where is my son, my master's son? He says, I know this much. A demon by name, Panchajanya, his name is Panchajanya. Panchajanya comes later on. Panchajanya, he was a demon. He, as a whale used to move about in the ocean, he has swallowed it. This much I can give you information. Then he dives into the ocean, searches for that Panchajanya, Rakshasa. He kills him and sees within him there is no, that sun is not there. Then he comes out. Then comes back to that he had developed one conch shell on his bodily existence. He is also called Shankasura. So that after killing him, he takes that shell. That is the Panchajanya. Panchajanya, born of Panchajanya. It is taken from Panchajanya, Panchajanya. Just like Kaunteya, Kunti Kaunteya. Like that. Panchajanya, Panchajanya. Derived from Panchajanya, Panchajanya. There I gave the another meaning of Panchajanya. Because it is in the Vishnu's hand. Here it is same replica of it. That is eternally there in the Vishnu's, this Panchajanya. So this is called Panchajanya. And after getting that, he comes out and goes straight away. Whoever has died, he must be there in the Yamaloka. He knows, Yama knows exactly where he has gone, which body he is there, if at all he has taken another body. And then he tells, bring back my Guru's, give me back the Guru's child. He says, I will give you. And he offers that child to Krishna and Balarama. They both go and offer it back. And that Panchajanya is the conch he has got from after killing, from his bodily existence. It was half covering like. So that is the Panchajanya. Yes, that is the. We could not finish. And the whole system is a beautiful concept. We see again in various ways. We have already studied how it's Spandana, how it creates in the last class, the Nada, how it creates the creation, Bindu, and all that we have seen in the last class. And this Shankha, there is a spiral behind. This has an important significance, the spiral. The whole creation, when the creation starts, it starts in such a way, it goes on multiplying in a different progression. That progression is it goes on multiply. It's something like geometrical progression. But it is suppose sequence we write 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, any number you take, it is the sum total of the previous two. Previous two added. This is a sequence by which everything we can see, even the galaxies. Milky Way, if you see, you will see that small circle winding up into huge cycle. The Srishti begins like that. When we leave the body also, we will be living in a spiral to go to the everything, whole creation, every bit of the creation. How we grow in the womb of a mother, how the proportions are maintained. Everything is done by that system. And we see this in the science also. It is being presented in a beautiful way. And in our system, that Indian system, Hindu system, that there are two things, important things. The modern science, when we say, we Fibonacci, Fibonacci series, and it is in the ratio. It is called golden ratio. Golden ratio we call in Sanskrit Divyanka. It is the whole progress, how it goes on multiplying. You can see on the behind the conch shell how it expands. Even the opening of the Shankha, the creation is such a way it is not specifically mentioned in the Vedas about the series, but it is as principle it has been adopted. All our yantras, including our Sri yantra which we are using, so many yantras are how the triangle multiplies, how the angle multiplies in the series. That is the whole. It represents perfect harmony in which it is being evolved. Evolution takes place and involution takes place in the same process. Involution process and evolution process, we see the same sequence is seen. All natural. You can see leaves, plants, many of the things, beautiful pictures you will get. And also in nature, when you go around and see, you will see that spiral emerging out. It represents never-ending journey. Spiritually, when we take never-ending journey of self-discovery and realization of God. That's why Sri Ramakrishna says, don't limit God. You go, it is ever expanding. Self-knowledge is ever expanding. Realization of God is ever expanding. It has no end. We are entering into infinity and eternity. So how that we enter and go on expanding limitlessly. But everywhere you see perfect harmony, and it represents life from the emergence with the Aparanada doesn't end with creation of the universe. It continues with biological emergence of life. This biological emergence of life is represented by the spiral behind the conch. Biological life coming into existence. How the life emerges out. It is represented by, what a perfect harmony, balance, equilibrium the nature is maintaining. At the same time, this spiral represents that. It is representing life. Life cycle from birth to death. How it goes, you see. How it goes to the optimum and comes back to the bindu to leave the body. And it continues. It doesn't end. Life after lives, it continues. And then again this cycle of return back to the source. The whole existence of life on this earth is represented that is the basis when we go, basis of all this sequence and the divine, it is something like a divine order. The whole universe is going in a perfect order. This order is represented there. Perfect order. in which the universe is moving. So here we see the life emerging, life merging back, and the beyond. Everything going in a perfect balance, equilibrium, harmony. When you use the Shankha, why it is worshipped used in the puja and worshipped also, Shankha, is because of it represents whole. One side it is Nada Swarupa, all Nadas it is, and all aspects of creation and manifestation of life is presented by that. So this is the whole thing. Yes, we could not go to the next Devadattam Dhananjaya. We'll stop here today. We'll continue in the next class. Om Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhritavigraham Vai Yeshavataram Paramesham Medyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha.